All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto the Most High Power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, who go out throughout the four corners of the earth to teach us truth in all sincerity. The brother Tawal Bosch from the Great Millstone Northwest Camp, doing another sit down on why we call you so-called Edomites the devil. This is why we call you the devil, right? And we call you the devil because of your track record, because we know you are the physical counterpart to the spiritual demon Satan. Right, so I'm gonna start with a couple of scriptures, and then I have some articles that I'd like to get into as well. And I'm actually gonna start with this video. Let's see if I can play it.
I'm a white American born into poverty, and I overcame it. You know, the opportunities are here in America, and why can't we just start now? We hear all this violence. Why can't we just talk in a positive way and go forward instead of remembering all these things that are in the past that are negative? They were not good for life,
Yes, Mr. Farrakhan commenting.
According to the State of Black America by the Urban League, if we started right now, they said, we could never close the gap to black poverty and white poverty. She said, let us start right now. Let's forget the past. Notice this. When Jewish people remember the Holocaust and want the world to remember the Holocaust. Wait. Why do you want the world to remember? Because if the world does not remember, it is likely to repeat itself. And Jewish persons who suffered from the Holocaust want the world to remember this because the world turned its back while Jews were put in ovens. I, as a black person...
Right, and that didn't happen. Right, we all know that as far as brothers in Great Millstone, we know that the Holocaust is actually the Holocaust. Right, that never happened. But just for edification's sake, you know, I ain't down with we ain't down with Louis Farrakhan, right? But this is just an example of white arrogance, right, and white pride, and an example of why we call you the devil, because of your wickedness, right?
Want my people to remember what we have suffered and what we continue to suffer, so that we will say like the Jews, never again.
Right, now that's some coonery. But, you know, I just wanted the point to get across. You know, Edom, Esau, you so-called white people who come from the nation of Edom are devils. Devil just means deceiver. Right, and you have deceived the whole world into thinking that you are the Jews, and that the Negro, Latino, Native Americans, Seminole Indians are those bywords that I just listed, who are really the Native Americans. You've got us to believe that we are of these weird nations that you put as labels that you put us under, so-called nations. All right, now I just wanted to show that really quick. Now I'm going to jump into a couple of scriptures, and then I'm going to end with an article, all right, and a paragraph from a book. All right, this is Genesis 49 and 19. Gad, right, which is you so-called Native Americans, a troop, got a wand, shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. And were you Native Americans not overcome? Right? Yes, at the end we shall overcome. You know, the nation of Gad shall overcome. But this troop came upon you. And, you know, that comes along with, you know, I want to read an article, because there was an activist in the 70s and 80s that went by the name of John Trudell, a Gadite. Right, now I'm gonna go into this article because you know, it just shows the wickedness of the so-called white man. Concerning John Trudell, this is a quote by this is a parable by Chief Joseph. Let me be a free man, free to travel, free to stop, free to work, free to trade where I choose, free to choose my own teachers, free to follow the religion of my fathers. Right? Why did he say that? You know, because we are of the tradition of our fathers, man. The Most High Power gave our truth unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And then unto the 12 tribes. Free to talk, think, and act for myself, and I will obey every law or submit to the penalty. Right? That's hey, man. We are a logical, righteous people. You know, especially when we're in our right mind, we know we're Israel and we follow the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. Recent discussions, read John Trudell, noted that he is a charismatic speaker. The comment reminded me that inasmuch as he passed through the fire, John Trudell's charisma is well founded. Accordingly, it is important to keep the following specifics in mind. When you see the man, listen to his music, remember what we are. Remember what we are is where we have been. No one can take that from us, right? The following data comes from Agents of Repression by Ward Churchill and Jim Vander Wall, ISBN 0-89609-293-8, paperback, list price $16. Right, just for reference sake, so they don't try to take down my video. The Peltier assassination effort appears to be only one of several abortive but deadly FBI counterintelligence operations directed at the remnants of the American Indian movement during the late 70s and the early 80s. Another, even grim example concerns the death of the family of Ames' last national chairman, John Trudell. Right, so, you know, it's funny because when I was a young man, you know, before this truth, I was in AIM, the American Indian movement. And, you know, John Trudell, we actually got to open up for him here, where I live at here in the Northwest. And he came and did some poetry at a local college. And, you know, we did some drumming for him, and we opened up for him and did some singing and drumming in the background, you know, Gadite singing and drumming in the background for him while he did his speeches. And one of his speeches was about what I'm about to read, which happened to his family. In February 1907, John Trudell led a march in Washington, D.C. to draw the difficulties the Indians were having. Although he received a warning against speaking out, he delivered an address from the steps of the FBI building on the subject of the agency's harassment of Indians. Less than 12 hours later, John Trudell's wife, Tina, his three children, and his wife's mother were burned alive in the family home in Duck Valley, Nevada, the apparent work of an arsonist. Right, so what really happened, I don't know if this gets into it, but that's all I wanted to read on that. What really happened is John Trudell, during that march, burned a American flag on the steps of the FBI building after the march. And hours later, his whole family was burned. His wife, his three children, and his wife's mother were all burned, right? So, hey man, this white man, and so-called white man, is the devil. You know, look at his track record. Look what he does. Look what his MO is. Right now, I'm gonna read this right here. This is a classic. This is milk scripture, Deuteronomy 28:68. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again by ships. And when we go into this word Matazarian, or the word for Egypt, Right, Strong's definition, Upper and Lower Egypt. Egypt, what's another word for it here? Double straits, right? But when you really, the land of Copts, Copts, right? Let me find this because it's actually in the scripture. Salakia.